Now that we've completed the nutrition step, hopefully you're already thinking of ways to improve and make changes, not just for your student athlete, but for the entire family. Because nutrition is key, not just in sport, but in life in general. So with that, let's take it to the next level. The next step is social media. This is obviously a very, very popular title or subject in 2024. Social media. Here's the questions. Should my athlete have social media? Should they not have social media? If they do have social media, should I run the page or should they run the page? These are all questions that parents and student athletes have been asking for the last few years. So I'm gonna give you all the answers that you need to make this make sense. First of all, the answer is yes, your student athlete should have social media. Let me just be clear. And I know what you're saying, like, what do you mean they should have it? I don't want them on the phone, I get that. We can talk about it. But when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to college coaches, unfortunately, if you're not a social media fan, unfortunately, college coaches do use social media to start and initiate the recruiting process and to keep constant communication with student athletes. So that alone tells you that you have to figure out how to make it work. Now, let's talk age. If your student athlete is in middle school and you decide you do not want them to have any social media, I understand that. I'm a parent, I'll sign off on that, I agree. However, by 9th grade, it is important. They have to have at least 1 or 2 forms of social media. We talked about it earlier. My number 1 would be Twitter, because Twitter is where the majority of college coaches are. Now, they're not just on Twitter, so it's also beneficial to have an Instagram page because a lot of them do kind of go back and forth because they know on Instagram you're posting more videos, more photos, more things along those lines. So it's still beneficial to have the Twitter as well as the Instagram page. Now, here's a couple bullet points for you to take away. Now, number 1, if your student athlete is young, it may be a good idea for you to manage the page, which is totally fine. You know, as a parent, you can decide, you can respond to messages, you can determine what get posted, what doesn't get posted. You can go through that whole process. I'm totally fine with that. But here's what I want to say. For my older athletes, my high school athletes, the ones that are on their phone all day, on Snapchat and all these different social media sites, here's the viewpoint. You should not post anything that you would not want a college recruiter to see. That's the easiest way to look at it. If there's anything that you have posted in the past or decide to post in the future, you have to now run it through the filter. What if a college coach saw this? Would they be cool with it? Would they laugh? Or would they think, you know what? I didn't know this kid was into that. Here's an example. A lot of student athletes over the years that I follow on Instagram and Twitter, I've seen the parties, I've seen the drinking, I've seen the smoking, I've seen a lot of things, disrespectful videos, fights, things along those lines right on your social media page. So now if I'm a college coach, are you the student that I want to bring to my campus? So you can film fights, is that why? So at the end of the day, you have to have this filter. And not only that, the filter is mandatory. Now, let me be clear. That does not mean you can't do your little dance move on TikTok. Do it. If it's fun and it's part of your personality and you're having a good time, you're with your friends, that's fine. College coaches are great with that. They love athletes with sense of humor, that are personable, that's all good. But your typical post, just make sure you're not showing anything that could be detrimental to your recruiting process. Now let's go on the other side of that. What should you be posting? This is actually more important than the first part because a lot of student athletes nowadays do not post a lot on social. I have some athletes and I can't even force them to post on IG. You know, they post and delete, it's all weird. I don't know what they're thinking, but it's just the way they are. So we talked about what not to post. Now let's talk about what you should post. Let's keep it very simple. My social media as a student athlete trying to get a Division I scholarship should simply show everything that I'm doing on a daily basis to make that come to life. My training, I'm walking in the gym, I'm with my trainer, I'm about to start my workout. That should be on there. My nutrition, hey, here's a picture of the food. Oh, I'm on meal prep. Oh, here's my protein shake for after my training session. That should be on there. Headed to practice, we got a big game this week. That should be on there. Everything that represents you as an athlete should be on your social media for sure. That is mandatory. We want to show college coaches that you're not just getting an athlete that can play a sport, but you're getting someone that's committed, that's invested into getting better, into taking every step on a day-to-day basis, showing up every single day, working out, new PR, new max, new improved 40 time, 100-meter time. Show them your progression. Let them follow the journey. And I promise you it'll go a long way. And then they'll be able to ride that journey with you. And once we get to the end, it's gonna put you in a very good position to get that Division I scholarship.